Historically, the Rhodes Trust has been known for bringing talented people from all over the world together into Oxford. But we've been limited by the space, by the current building.
This project is a real unique opportunity to take a beautiful 1920s arts and crafts building, restore and conserve all of the important elements of the original architecture, whilst also breathing fresh life into the building.
A modern facility that has a real link to the past.
It's a Grade 2 listed building. It was designed and built for the Rhodes Trust.
The house was a place in which the warden lived and the Rhodes Scholars would occasionally drop in. Then it became a centre for scholars to connect and find each other.
Rhodes House means a lot to me. It's where I first encountered my Oxford community, really. I'm curious to see what the conference space looks like and the increased openness that I understand it's supposed to get in the back. I think those are all changes I'm really optimistic about.
And you can tell Milner Hall is designed to be like, a formal hall. It's fabulous for wonderful large dinners, but it's not really designed to be a conference space.
You have a lot of events going on in Rhodes House, but most of the spaces are very limited. What we have currently is good, but it's not good enough.
Throughout the years, a lot has been added, and obviously there was a lot of pressure to find more area within the building.
With the big build, it's an expansion, it's a transformation.
To look at ways that we could enhance the experience for the scholars in residence, pulling together all of these disparate spaces and putting them in contiguous locations.
We had to identify the areas where they were underused or areas where they were of little or no historic significance. So obviously within Rhodes House is very difficult.
All of the major construction is in the least used rooms, which are these huge expansive basements underneath the house. Many people have never ventured into these, but they are cavernous.
A number of things are changing in the existing building. First, we're going to have a collective space for staff to work and collaborate. The creation of a massive multi-purpose space that we're going to be using for conferences and meetings and seminars with all of the latest gadgets. I'm really excited about the potential to have modern ensuite accommodation as part of our convention centre, because it just means that people can be here and stay here and be more comfortable and be more at home in the work and the thinking that this space provides.
On completion, all of the elements of the building that people are familiar with will still be there. They will be very, very gently polished and brought back to their original splendour.
The new build is pretty essential to our strategy. It's about bringing people across their working life to Oxford as they think through individually and collectively what it means to have an impact.
Rejuvenating the house, I think, is important because it kind of is like the physical manifestation maybe of how the community is open to changing, to becoming more inclusive and different in how we learn together and come together.
So now you have people and delegates being able to come into Rhodes House, and it's going to be a convenient way to have alumni and any other delegates come in and be able to collaborate on the spot right there with Rhodes Scholars. But also having events where you can live stream and people can have a Q&A session, like with people who are, for example, in Kenya.
The space would allow mixing and conversation and dialogue, and symbolically that has always been the heart of the work that we do.
In the late 1920s, accessibility wasn't such a thing, but once we've completed the scheme, we will have flat and level access, new lifts throughout the whole building, so it really will be a completely equitable experience for all building users.
I think the first scholars to enter the building will react with awe, with relief, and with so much excitement at the possibilities that this opens for them, for Scholars alumni, as well as the local Oxford community.
The building was designed originally by Herbert Baker 100 years ago, and we hope that the project now supports the activities of the Trust for the next 100 years and beyond.
I think there'll be elements of it that still invoke that nostalgia, that sense of coming home, but then there'll be something that is transformed and new.
I'm so excited about this next chapter of the Rhodes Trust and the house, particularly what we will have to offer to scholars in residence to come.